Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, 7:43 a.m., February 20. So let's do like a morning call video and review everything. So yesterday, we reviewed the market wrap. I cannot lie. But the flow from last Friday was totally bearish. Yesterday we saw the volatility skew is still showing, a smirk, but yesterday showed like a bullish smirk, right? Instead of a bearish smirk. Could be a trap? Yes, could be a trap. No, but yesterday I also told you guys, possibility to see a bottom at 4,975, right? Remember? Remember? So what do we have regarding the volatility skew right now? And then you check it out our spreadsheet with the flow. Different than yesterday, now still this milk, same but it's bearish. Now, of course, that's totally normal because, market is really red, right? Minus 14 points. Okay, this is like just 1 week, I separate for 1 week. Everybody's expecting a meltdown, a pullback. Everybody's expecting a pullback. So the volatility skew now is backing for what you saw on Friday. Of course, the put implied volatility jumped, right? It's really jumped. For example, strike at 4,909 is like 25%. It's really, really jumped. And consequently, the calls, dropped, right? Because everybody's looking for a pullback. But anyway, let's now check the flow. Look what's we have right now. Remember that on Friday was really, really negative. It's a very, very, very bearish flow. I told you guys also yesterday we saw a very huge negative gamma. I mean, the pattern is supposed to be a negative gamma, not a positive gamma, right? Yesterday, the time that I made the video. So now the depth of flow starts to be bullish, not bearish at all. Okay? So the worst case scenario, maybe bottom, is still printing 4,975. But remember, squeeze supposed be start above 5,010. Why? Let's go back to the volatility skew. Because, as you guys know, the option players, dealers, they don't play like naked stuff. They sell something to finance themselves. So 5,010 calls nowadays, the implied volatility is too low. So what people do? They sold those calls to buy out of the money puts. So as soon markets go back to 5,010, the squeeze supposed to be started. Why? Because the call sellers, you need to buy this back and they need to neutralize the portfolio. That's a very good, environment to see a squeeze, especially because now we are below 5K and we are in a negative gamma territory. Okay? In a negative gamma territory. What's the pattern of negative gamma territory? Sell weakness by rallies. Okay? Note that 5K now we have positive gamma. Remember, this kind of book is the book, that we I like to say, is a book that have a lot of divergence. That's a data divergence. Sometimes the flow switch from negative to positive, and also the gamma switch too, right? And I also have been highlighting to you guys, the most important nowadays is not the inflation. Market participants nowadays is much more concerned about companies' results than inflation. Everybody already know that inflation not to be controlled. Why? Because the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury, they have been injecting money in the economy. Market is liquidity. Market is not real economy. As soon you start to see a drain of the liquidity, market is supposed to be sunk. The BTFD is supposed to be gone next month, but if they postpone, it's more liquidity that you add. Okay. The loans, all the loans that you have, especially the commercial, supposed to be expiring the third quarter. That's where I expect to see liquidity being drained. That's where, I will start to be very bearish or much more conservative, because is when the liquidity is supposed to be drained. But anyway, let's talk about today. So, the volatility skew is still showing bearish sign. So people is really waiting for a pullback. So they are selling out of the money calls to buy out of the money puts, because they employ volatility just jump in the puts, and market participants look for a pullback. Okay, but in another hand, the delta flow start to print bullish, start to print positive. So it's a sign that you could see a squeeze. Squeeze again starts as soon market break 5,010. Why? Going back here, that's a very easy graphic to analyze. Is because where they sold calls to buy puts. So squeeze really starts above 5,010. So far, we are in a bearish region, especially because we are below 5K. Okay? Per deltas, looks like that the bottom will be something between 4,907 and 4,975, mainly 4,975. Per delta, the squeeze will start above 4,905. It's because we have positive delta. We move from a negative delta from 4,975, 4,980 to a positive delta at 4,985. Could you be, a squeeze region? Yes, could you be? 4,985, sorry, is still negative. But I like to call this as a transition, as an inflection point. And then, 4,909 and above, we have bullish delta flow. So we need to see, for example, for bears that is playing negative delta, for bears that is playing short, a rejection at 4,909. If you will not see a rejection at 4,909, okay, we supposed to be back test 5K. Look how gamma is flipping, in the pre-market. Now it's showing negative gamma. But at 5K, now, here, we have positive delta. So for bears, they need to look for a rejection at 4,909. Otherwise, market tends to still going up. And mainly 5,010. Because 5,010, as you guys see by the volatility skew, is where they sold calls. Right? Is where they sold calls. Above 5,010, the movement, the candle could be bigger. As you guys know, always happen when we are in a negative gamma territory. So far, futures suggest that we will open the cash index in a negative gamma territory, right? Minus 16 points. Below 5K, so far 5K is flipping the gamma. Sometimes, sometimes it's positive, now became positive again, sometimes it became negative. That's the worst book. That, I want to show you guys, that's the worst book, because we are in a transition. Remember that we are in a positive gamma since last year, right? Since last year, everybody's calling a crash, and they said, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And then, that's what's the pattern so far. Now, the book, because the market participants, especially as soon as you analyze the volatility skew, everybody's looking for a pullback. Consequently, you saw a very huge negative delta on Friday. We saw a different setup yesterday, but yesterday is only machines. You know, could you be a trap? Yes, could you be a trap? That's totally normal. It's only machines. And then now today, we are seeing a positive delta flow. The positive delta flow is a bullish flow because they are not selling calls. If they're supposed to be selling calls, is a bearish flow, is a negative delta. They sell calls the same if I buy puts. Okay? If I start to sell calls, it's supposed to be generate negative delta. So the flow now starts to be bullish. The flow starts to be bullish, but we are in a negative gamma territory. Sell weakness by rallies. So if dealers bring market above 4,909 and you not see a rejection, we will backtest 5K. And then you squeeze start at 5,010. I hope you guys understand, all the levels. I'm looking for 4,975 as a bottom, as a possible intraday bottom. Okay, because that's where we have the major negative gamma delta exposure right now. Okay, the delta flow right now. That's the major delta flow right now. Gotcha? So pay attention in the levels. I'm looking for 4,975 as a bottom, intraday bottom. Okay, 5,980 supposed to be the transition level, as I like to call. How can I say? I forgot. Inflection point. 4,909 supposed to be rejected. For bears, they need to reject. We need to see a rejection between 90 and 95. Okay, this region, for those that are playing short, you guys need to see a rejection in this level between 4,909 and 4,995. If you don't see a rejection over here, we will flip it back again to a positive gamma at 5K. And then, you'll be by the dip. How dips will be absorbed. Positive gamma pattern. Squeeze start at 4,010. You guys got it? Those are the flow level, intraday level. If something change during the intraday, we will check it out. Guys, let's go back and talk about other assets. Especially the assets that move risky assets. Remember that I told you guys in a print and I post in the market web the DXY, the possibility to see a head and shoulder, right? And consequently, let me do here, and then you guys will see, shoulder, and head. So yesterday, if you guys noticed yesterday, the DXY was green. Okay, they backtest the EMA3 and now is going back down. Remember the inflection points 104.699. Breaking this up, we tend to see a turmoil in the risky assets. We tend to migrate from risky on environment to risky off environment. Look, especially the MACD start to build a bearish loss. So I told you guys my vision, what I thought, but I also told you guys that we have a bearish flow. What I thought is that we will not see a pullback this week as everybody is looking for, because the huge amount of puts that was bought on Friday. Every single person is looking for a pullback. But remember, that's my thought. But the flow printed Friday was totally bearish. And the volatility skew is still showing us bearish sign, showing us that market participants is still looking for a pullback. Okay? I hope you guys understand that. My vision doesn't mean that I'm right. I just want to show you guys how the flow it is. And the flow so far is not, since Friday is not bullish, but now the delta flow starts to print bullish. But the volatility skew is not printing bullishness, right? So we have really divergence in the book. Why? Because we are in a transition from positive to negative gamma. And also, you could see a transition back from negative to positive, because right now we are in a negative gamma territory. See, 5K back to be negative. I prefer to see 5K negative gamma with a positive delta, making more clear to see a squeeze. Okay, and make more clear to see a squeeze. Why? Because you have divergence in 5K. We have like negative gamma and positive delta. When you start to see positive gamma and positive delta, could you be a region that they start to sell again? So I really like to see a negative gamma, as you see right now, and a positive delta flow that you be like a level easy to be breaking, and squeeze again above for 5,010. But let's go back, because we already have a vision about the flow, and go back to the DXY. I also highlighted in the market web that we have, the busy agenda will be on Thursday, not to be today and not to be tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the FONC minutes notes, right? That also could move the market, could move TNX and could move DXY, and consequently, the risk assets as well. But the busy agenda is not today and tomorrow. The busy agenda is the jobless and the initial jobless claim. Let me open here, sorry. That really move DXY and TNX. Okay? Oh, it's again about the TNX, again about the head and shoulder from the dollar. But let me get the economic agenda. Today we have something that could move the market for me is just the action. So tomorrow we have some FONC members speaking, and especially the mini notes at 2 p.m. But the busy agenda is supposed to be on Thursday. On Thursday, that's the agenda that tends, to move the DXY and the TNX. Okay, especially because we have the initial jobless claim and the jobless claim 4 weeks. Those are the Fed national activity and blah 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 blah. Some speakers as well, and more options, especially the 30 years. Okay, so the busy agenda will be Thursday. The focus for me is the company results that I have been telling you guys. Okay, you guys gotcha. Going back, GIX jump. So dealers bought, they didn't sold. Okay, remember the levels that we played last week. The minus GX was at 4,950, and the plus GX was at 5,050. We saw market, trade between 20 and 50, right? Not 50, 35. So dealers sold premium, and at least they bought at 4,920, 4,950. So for me, those are the levels that we need to look for, especially as a bottom 4,950. But per flow, so far, 4,975. That's also above 4,950. And 4,920, that was the bottom of last week. So if you break it down 4,975, I'm looking for 4,950. Okay? Bitcoin. You guys know that I'm really bullish in Bitcoin. Bitcoin now is sideways. We are seeing sell pressure at 52,700, and we are seeing buy pressure at 51,500, right? So the Bitcoin basically now is locked, is without trend. As you can see, we have a line. Okay, we have a line. Could you use sunk? Yes, of course. But so far, somebody is willing to buy at the support that is located at 51,700, between 700 and 400. That's the region that dealers are willing to buy. In another hand, at 52,700, we are seeing a sell pressure, making the assets walking in a line. Basically, no trend. You know, we don't have any bearish sign in the indicators. All the EMA is still pointing north. The only faster EMA, that's the red line EMA 3, that's the one that's not pointing south, is just a line and working as a support as well. Okay, but so far is not an indication to see a meltdown. Okay, worst case scenario for me, if you see a flush, is 46K, and also for me will be a buy opportunity. Regarding Mara, you guys know that I'm bullish Mara, I hold Mara, and I didn't hedge Mara. Mara is trying to form, as you guys can see, a cup and handle, right? Mara, we could see a drop to close this gap, and could be a bottom at 21, or only up to 23.49. I'm seeing the worst case scenario of a drop in Mara, or at 21.56 or 23.49. And if you go to 23.49 and come back going up, you'll be forming, you know, a very beautiful cup and handle. Okay, we have a resistance over here between 27.86 and 28.95. We went up to 30, as you know, we form a pivot, but I wasn't looking for 30 because, you know, the major pivot is 33.68. But remember, Bitcoin is still bullish, but it's sideways. So could you make an influence in Mara? Okay, remember that Mara has the same pattern as you saw back in 2022 in AMC and GME. Because Mara has more than 30% of the free float shorted. So it's a very good, you know, very good asset to see a squeeze. Especially because Bitcoin is already 52K and Mara is supposed to be report earning on February 28th, in 80 days from now. I'm expecting a very good result, especially because when Mara report the last earnings, they report like a $1 billion cash, total cash in Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin was 30 something. Now the Bitcoin is 52,000, and I'm not seeing Bitcoin coming back to 32, you know, in the near term. Okay, so the cash nowadays and the lower debt that Mara has, you know, the results for me is supposed to be coming very good, and then you could see those crazy spikes basically forced by, you know, gum squeeze. Okay, I'm really bullish in Mara. I'm really patient. Remember, I have been Mara since $8, and I bought more at 16. Remember, guys? So I'm really fine. What I can do if I see that, you know, Mara stop to going up, is start to sell covered calls to monetize myself. Okay, so far the XI dollar is still showing weakness. So the TNX, I don't know if the TNX is already open or no. The TNX is already not open. It's like 8 in the morning. I guess it started at 9. So we need to see how the TNX will be printing, you know, at the open. But looks like that they left, you know, also a shooting star, a reversal candle. So let's see if you see a reversal, you know, and consequently make an impulse to the risk assets, make impulse to crypto. Also, somebody, you know, asked me about Ethereum. Look at the dominance, you know, the BTC and the Ethereum dominance. So as soon as now the Bitcoin dominance starts going up, but that's, you know, what we need to monitor. As soon as you start to see the BTC dominance, you know, sideways, and the Ethereum dominance going up, you know, the money is supposed to be flow, you know, more to the Ethereum, and then Ethereum tended to outperform Bitcoin. At the end, you know, we're supposed to be see Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance going sideways, and then money will flow from Bitcoin and Ethereum to the small caps, ADA Cardano, HBAR, Gala, FEG, Shiba, whatever. But you guys understand how this works, you know? So as soon as you start the BTC and Ethereum dominance sideways down, you know, the money start to flow from Bitcoin and Ethereum and go to the small caps. Nowadays, the most focus is still Bitcoin, okay? But of course, Ethereum is still not is going down today, but it spiked yesterday or 2 days ago when you saw Ethereum break 2,800. That was a major, one of the most important resistance. Now 2,800 is supposed to be the support. Okay, I'm really bullish in cryptocurrency. Guys, I'm finished by here. Just to review, so we have data divergence. We could see a squeeze start above 5,010. You know, the gamma have been flipping a lot at 5K. So I'm looking for a bottom at 4,975, inflection point 5,985. For those that are playing short, you guys need to see a rejection between 4,909 and 4,995. If this market's not rejecting over here, we suppose to see a squeeze, especially if you break 5,010. No hypocrisies. Volatility skew is still showing that market participants looking for a pullback. Take care, guys. Enjoy your day.